Hi everybody, this is Alma coming to you from Long Beach, California. Today is Saturday, September 5th of the year 2020, and this is my 35th FlossTube. So I want to welcome you all as always. Welcome back to all of you returning viewers and subscribers. Thank you as ever for your continuing support, and welcome to any new viewers that are just finding my channel. I hope that you like what you see, you find a reason to stay and subscribe, and continue to follow me on my crazy journey of mine. I was able to film another stitch with me this week. If you enjoy that sort of thing, then I welcome you to go ahead and spend a little more time with me as we both do a little bit of crafting. But these videos on Saturdays will always be, or well, weekends, mostly on Saturdays, they'll always be about my cross stitch progress and plans during the week. So without further ado, let's get to the stitching. The first whip that I worked on after I filmed last week, Saturday morning, was my Chilton Crafts chart. This is Snow Girl, and this is based on Daniel Kordak's artwork. This piece I am using for the 20 in 20 challenge from Full Coverage Phonetics, and so far so good. I think I have a little bit under or a little bit over 1,000 stitches to go. I think it's under, but point being is I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I kept going on the apple as per the Instagram vote that I put up on my story a couple of weeks ago, where I had people choose whether I should keep going on the background or start on the apple. And I'm still trying to chip away at the confetti here in the background just for the sake of getting rid of the confetti, but you know, 99% of the stitching did go into the apple. There was a lot of confetti stitches, which I think is why I keep working on this over the weekend, when I find it's a little bit easier to kind of settle into a bigger space with, you know, my master set of DMC, so I have everything easily available. But once I did the confetti here on the outskirts of the apple, I did go into a couple of more colors within the apple to get those darker reds. It's actually like browns. Yeah, it's more browns than anything else. But yeah, it's coming along. And I do want to go ahead and make sure that I finish those 20,000 stitches by the end of the month, which should be fairly easy. Again, I just have to do a couple. I think I could do it in a couple of more sessions, a couple more stitching sessions, and then I can go ahead and move on to another whip to give it a little bit more love. But once Monday came around, a lot of the challenge groups, the cross-stitch challenge groups, released their, not just the weekly homeworks, but also the monthly ones, since September did start on Tuesday. So I was able to look at those, and I actually started a few. So the first one that I worked on was my Heaven and Earth Designs chart and the artwork is by Amy Stewart. This is Moon Charmer, and this one I'm using for a couple of things actually. I am also using this for a Full Coverage Phonetics event that's happening this month. We're doing the Tour de France cross stitch edition where you just have to, we stitch whatever distance the event calls for, and there's different levels. So I of course chose the highest tier, or I think they call it jerseys, like jersey color for different teams. So yellow jersey means you did like all of it. Yeah, you did all of it, so it's more like 3,000 something stitches. Go big or go home, right? Which is fine because this hadn't gotten a lot of love recently, so I thought this was perfect, because it's also the monthly theme for Full Coverage Fanatics. We're going to Norway. We're visiting Norway this month, and I just thought, okay, well, it kind of reminds me of the Aurora. I don't know. I don't remember. I think that's the excuse I gave, but point being is I'm using it for Norway. And that's what I've done so far. The monthly event that I'm using this for is for enchanted stitching. We have this stitch which is also distance related. We're focusing on inside out this month, and the prompt was to stitch 1,965 stitches, because that's the distance that the characters have to travel in the beginning of the movie when they move to San Francisco. So far I've done 1,000, so I still have, pretty much hit a little over the halfway point for at least that task, and obviously I still have over 2,000 stitches to go for the Tour de France. But all 1,000 stitches were done in 2 colors, both of which are like this bluish purplish color that's over here on the edge. It's 38, 39 and 38, 38 for DMC, which are pretty much identical. Like, one is slightly lighter than the other, but they're really similar, which is why you won't see much of a difference. But at least we have stars. I did discover a couple of new stars over here and over there, so it's something. The yearly goal for this one is to hit 50,000 stitches. I'm somewhere around the 33,000 area, so I still have quite a bit to go. At this point, I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish it, or to reach the goal, but I'll still, give it my best shot. Because I really do like that piece, and I want to get, because right now I'll show you the cover photo again. Like right now I'm just here, right? I'm here on the blues, so I at least want to move over this way so I can hit all those pinks and lighter colors where we get to the moon. That'll be nice. That'll be a nice change. So I do want to keep going. Next, so September 1st is Return to Hogwarts Day. It's back to Hogwarts. In the Harry Potter books and the movies, that's the day they go back to school. So we kind of celebrated in the community, both, just regular Harry Potter fandoms and cross-stitching in particular. There was a lot of, Harry Potter charts and whips out there. So I, of course, had to stitch on my Hogwarts Castle. This is a chart by the Stitching Girl. I did get this 5 years ago, so this is no longer available on her Etsy shop, but she does have plenty of really pretty patterns there still, and so I would encourage you to check them out. And this whip I used for a okay, sorry, I wasn't sure if the ambulances were gonna reach here, but there was a Magical Stitches monthly extra credit task where we had to stitch one stitch for every hotel room that there is in the Walt Disney World Resort hotel resort, and apparently there's 1,250. So that's how many stitches I put into this, and I didn't do it all in one go. I did it like in the span of 3 or 4 days. So like, I'm fast, but not that fast. So this is what I have so far. It's coming along slowly but surely. The focus this week was just over here. Like, it was literally all black. Here's a hanging needle. Yeah, it was, I think it was, there was like 50 stitches in, I don't even know if you'll be able to tell. There's like 50 stitches of 939 in there. But then everything, I mean, 939 is basically black anyways. Everything else was black. So this is my, I want to watch a movie, or I want to, you know, binge watch something on Netflix. This is what I work on, because it's, otherwise I think I would go insane. Just it's all black, and I still have like 30-some thousand stitches left to do in black alone. But the goal for that one is to reach 80,000 stitches. I'm at 71,250, because it just happened that when I started the task, I was at 70 even. So that's an easier goal to achieve. I think that one's going to be okay. And as you know, you probably have already heard, September is Sampler September. I think the official name is like Sampler September Soiree or something like that. But point being is you're supposed to focus on your samplers, right? And one of the weekly homework assignments we had for Magical Stitches was we needed to work on something that we saw on somebody else's FlossTube that we had, like we just had to start ourselves. Like we loved it so much we had to start ourselves. So for me that was really easy. I saw this on a fellow cross stitcher's FlossTube. Her name's Laurel. Hi Laurel, I don't know if you'll see this. But she had this, she did a whip parade maybe like 2 months back, and I saw this, and I fell in love with it. I just knew I had to do it myself. This is the 3 Things sampler by Moira Blackburn, and I just loved it. I loved it so much. So I was like, okay, this is the one for me, because I'd never done a sampler before. This was going to be my very first sampler. So I decided to go ahead and start it for her birthday, which was also mid-July, same as I. And yeah, the running joke is that I'm gonna finish it before she does. But I don't know, because I've got so many other whips that I don't know if that's going to happen. Oops, sorry. But this is what I've done so far. This time around the task was for 300 stitches. So this time around I did this entire top row over here of the little flowers, and then I finished filling in some of the lighter green that's within the stem, I suppose, the flower stem, and then this entire side over here. So yeah, the plan is to, at first I thought I was going to go ahead and do the entire border first. I don't think I'll do that because I'm scared I'll mess up and miscount. So I think I'll go ahead and just do like a section at a time. I'll finish everything that's on the Q snap here and then move on to the next one to avoid any counting, or try to avoid counting errors. But yeah, I'm really liking how this is going along. It's a really nice break from working on full coverage things. It's nice and easy, and it's repetitive. I mean, that's pretty much what samplers are, right? Just a bunch of motifs, repetitive patterns. So I'm really enjoying working on this. And then I actually started a second sampler for the same reason, for the same task. We didn't have to do the task twice, but again, just because of the theme with Sampler September, I've been thinking about starting this for a while now, and I just thought it would be a good opportunity. It's the Linen and Threads Mystery Style sampler for this year, for 2020. It's free, the pattern is free, and they still have previous years samplers still available. So if you go on their website, you can find, I think, from 2017, I think, or 2018, up until this year's. And I've seen a lot of people working on this, but the one that really sold me was Tracy from Tracy's Craft House. Hi Tracy, and hi Ellie. So she's been working on this for a while, and she does videos. She's here on FlossTube, and she'll have her daughter also does cross stitch, and she's doing Pandemic. I think they're both doing Pandemic actually, and her daughter has decided to do it with colors, and it's coming out really nicely. So but this is my rendition of it. So the way that Tracy's doing it, she's doing on, I think, white Aida, and she's using a variated thread, which goes from like a really pretty much black to a really bright vivid red. But I decided to kind of do it backwards. I said I'm going to have a solid colored thread, and I'm going to have the fabric be, I mean, I had this fabric for a while, but I just thought it would look really nicely. Here's the rest of the fabric. So as you can see, it changes. There's plenty of colors in there. And this is DMC 3808, which is my favorite color out of the entire DMC collection. This is my favorite color. I just thought it would look really nice. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is I'll still do some accents in there with other colors. The first part, for example, has a butterfly in it, which I think I'll do like a violet or a magenta, so that it can, you know, pop. But most of it will be done with the 3808. But yeah, as with, you know, as I mentioned with the 3-thing sampler, it's really nice. It's a really nice break from the full coverage. Not that I don't love my full coverage, and you guys know I love my full coverage. I wouldn't have it any other way. But it's nice to get some variety in there. Another whip that I worked on, with it being September, Mexican Independence Day is on the 16th. So, you know, just like with, you know, 4th of July, you pretty much see a bunch of decorations out for the entire month of July, right? So, same thing with the month of September. I kind of just wanted to give a nod to my roots. And I'm working on Katrina by Yanni Stitcher, who's also on FlossTube. She's also Mexican. I originally wanted to finish this for Mexican Independence Day, but considering that's coming up in 10 days, I don't think I'll make it in time, which is a bummer. I wish I could have planned ahead better. But that's, you know, that's just how I am, I suppose. So, oh my God, the lighting is just doing all sorts of weird things here. But you can see here all the white. So the way that the pattern is charted, she kind of has you use white fabric, but I went with how the model is stitched. The model looks like it's stitched on a beige looking fabric. And then you just go ahead and color in the face paint. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna go ahead and color in the face paint, so that you can have the color on the background. So yeah, again, it doesn't look like much, but it's 200 stitches there, believe it or not. It's all in white. I did all the 200 stitches in white. I do want to finish that area, that color, so I can move on to something different. And again, I kind of regret not planning ahead better, because I really wanted to finish this for for the actual Independence Day. But oh well, it is what it is. The next thing that I worked on was Full Coverage Fanatics is having a weekend long event. They're calling it the Confetti Conquistadors, which it's a non-counting event. You don't have to count your stitches. I'm counting my stitches just because I'm using it for, you know, magical stitches tasks. But it's just a fun way to kind of encourage you to tackle those confetti heavy areas in, you know, one or more whips. So I decided that I'm just gonna focus on the one whip, and I picked my Disney Villain Ladies full coverage chart. So right now I'm still working on this first panel, so I'll go ahead and the PDF, like once you when I bought this, she actually gave you four separate PDFs, so you could have each, like if you wanted to just do one or the other, you could go ahead and do that, but I really liked how they all looked together, so that's how I'm gonna stitch it. But the goal for this year is to finish this first panel right here with the Evil Queen from Snow White. And that's 16,000 stitches. So, and as I was at 70,000 before I started stitching on this. This is what I have done so far. I think I only did like 400 stitches or 600, I forget. I think it was 400 though, because I couldn't do too much yesterday. But how I'm trying to do it is I'm trying to focus. So you see the grid lines here, the grid squares. So the first day I wanted to go ahead and finish these two rows, and then so today ideally I wanted to go ahead and focus on these 2 rows so I can finish the eyes, and then the event does go to tomorrow, Sunday. So Sunday I wanted to finish up with these 2 rows right here. The chin is pretty much done already. There's a little bit of confetti still to do with the outline for her face, but other than that, I'm not worried. I'm not worried too much about that. I just wanted to get whatever's inside the face finished. So hopefully we'll see how much, because we do have errands to do today, and I do have some plans. So I don't know how much I'll get done, but if anything, I mean, I think I'll just, you know, make it up tomorrow, or even on Monday. We do have a holiday on Monday, so I may just keep going on this until I want to finish her face. I want to get that done. So yeah, one way or another, I think by next week you'll see a face, a completed face. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that one. The last thing I worked on, so after working on confetti all day, 'cause again I was only able to get 400 stitches done in the entire day. Towards the end of the day, at the evening time, I decided I needed a break. I was like, okay, it's a bit much, like it was too much to be switching colors so much, so I wanted to go ahead and work on something a little bit easier. And I picked up, again, going back to Sampler September, or Style September as well. I guess this counts for both. I went ahead and picked up my Frankenstein pattern from Stitching Book Club. The last part was released, I want to say last week. I want to say last Friday, or the Friday before that. It was released on the 29th, so last Friday, yeah, a week ago. And the next part was these borders right here. So it's like a border within a border. So these right here, the boxes. And as you can see, I've finished, well, I didn't finish it. I did most of it. I did the first scene, which is the ship. And I went ahead and I did everything the color gray, but I went ahead and did the flags, the ship flags on the variated thread, just to give it a little color so that it's not all gray. There are some stars in the sky. This is supposed to be the night sky, so there are some stars. I'll go ahead and do that. I still have some of the blending filament from my Peter Pan whip that I finished a couple of months ago, so I think that'll be a nice touch to just go ahead and add the sparkles. And then this scene right here, yeah, So this scene on top is a house with a tree and lightning. It's raining, so there's like long stitches that you have to do to symbolize the rain, and then there's a lightning bolt that goes on it because, you know, it's Frankenstein. You can't have Frankenstein without lightning. So that I think I'll do with the blending filament as well, so it sparkles as well, because it's lightning, it's supposed to shine. So yeah, so hopefully by the, because it's this, I did this all in one, I mean, I did the borders in one sitting, and then I did the ship in a second sitting. So I'm thinking just with one more stitching session, I can go ahead and finish this last scene, and then the next part comes out on the 19th. So plenty of time. And I know that people, like, they went gung-ho. Like, a lot of people finished it. Like, the day was released, they stitched it up, finished the next part. All I can say is more power to them. I mean, I have other things, and I'm like, sometimes I'm right there with them. Like, I'll go ahead and finish it as soon as it comes out. But I do have plenty of other things that I wanted to get done, so I decided I'm gonna go ahead and take my time so that I'm not twiddling my thumbs waiting for the next part to come out. And my kitchen is doing all sorts of noises. Okay, that's actually the fridge. But yeah, that's all I stitched on. Again, this weekend I'll go ahead and keep going on the Evil Queen. I am also going to be starting a couple more pieces this month, one sampler and one sal, because that's the theme of the month, I guess, and I have zero self-control. One of them is going to be a Halloween sampler, or sal, that's the sal, Halloween sal from Snarky and Modern Cross Stitch. So the first part was supposed to be released tomorrow, but she went ahead and surprised us all and released the first part today. So I'll go ahead and it's easy enough, it looks simple enough. It's not like the Frankenstein that was very stitch heavy, but I'll go ahead and stitch that part up this week, so I'll hopefully have that to show you. Unfortunately, again, as with mystery sals, there's no finished product image that I can show you, and I can't show you the pattern, so you'll just see that. It'll really be a mystery as you watch it come to life. But the second pattern that I'm going to be starting is a few months ago, a fellow cross-stitching friend, Leanne, she reached out. Well, she didn't reach out, she posted on her Instagram. She posted one of those, you know, when she asked a question so you can go ahead and answer. She was asking for suggestions for samplers. She says she was looking for a sampler, and she was looking for, like, particularly she wanted it to be like flowers. That's what she was looking for. She was looking for flowers. And at that point I had just gotten my heartstring hot sampler. This is considered the lilies. So I went ahead and I told her, hey, well, I just got this. Might be right up your alley, because that's all it has. All the pretty flowers in all sorts of shapes and colors. And apparently she liked it. She liked it. She bought it. And even though she told me she was going to start with her birthday, for her birthday, I don't think she told me when her birthday was. So then yesterday comes around and she messaged me on Instagram, and she says, hey, my birthday's tomorrow, are you ready to start this? I wasn't. But I went on Fire Poppies, found fabric, ordered it, and I just got the notification this morning that it's shipping. So I've heard great stories, I've heard great rumors about how amazing the customer service is from Fire Poppies, and I can now verify it's true. But we were talking, and you know, as I was looking for fabric, I was we were texting or messaging back and forth, and she mentioned that she had cut half a yard of 28 count even weave, and I was confused because for my 18 count, because I'll be stitching this on 18 count, sorry, that was the glare, I told her, I was like, well, how can that be possible? Because for me, with 18 count, half a yard wasn't enough. How can it be enough for you? So we figured it out. We did the math again, and it turns out that she had only cut the fabric like to the stitch design. So she hadn't given herself, you know, a border for fabric allowance. So luckily, she said she could take care of it easily enough. She was just gonna go ahead and cut herself another cut of fabric, dye it, and be ready to go. So now she's going to go ahead and wait for me to get my fabric so we can start it together. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna be watching this today, but happy birthday, Leanne. I really can't wait to start this, guys. I'm so excited to start this. I really wasn't gonna, but again, I have no self-control, so yeah. So hopefully by next video I'll have two new starts, because I'll be starting the Halloween sale as well. If not, then I'll show this not 1 week from now, but 2 weeks from now. I'm excited. I'm super excited. But yeah, those are all the plans that I have coming up. Again, I'm still going to trudge along with the Confetti Conquistadors challenge and the Tour de France stitching challenge. So I really do have to get on it, because that's only a third of the way done. But it's okay. I mean, I'll go ahead and focus on it during the week. I did do a couple of the weekly homeworks this week, but I think from now on, I'll focus on the monthly ones and the year-long ones for the sake of just trying to get more done and try to reach more goals. Like Snow Girl, I'm so close to reaching the 20 and 20 challenge goal. I really want to get that done before the end of the month. And then last month I wanted to finish June, which I was also really close to reaching my 10,000 stitch goal. So I want to get that finished. So, and sometimes doing the weekly homework gets in the way more than anything else. Most of the time I'm able to work it out, but sometimes it doesn't. So I'll adjust so I can go ahead and get some goals out of the way. Full Coverage Fanatics, Kim and Anne, they are Spartan Stitcher, and Anne is here as Fiber Floss and Fiction here on FlossTube. They're the masterminds behind Full Coverage Fanatics. They've announced, or they've let us know that they're going to announce the plans for next year this week. So I'm excited about that as well. But yeah, sorry for rambling there at the last minute. But that is everything I do have to show you. Thank you for joining me for a little bit of this weekend. I hope that you have a good weekend, a restful weekend, a productive week. And as ever, I hope that you find the time to do the thing that makes you happy. Until next time, guys, take care.